Let's talk about future you. You know, the person who exists 6 months from now when your car breaks down, or a year from now when you want to take that vacation, or 30 years from now when you're tired of working and just want to retire to a beach somewhere and complain about young people. Future you is probably going to face some stuff that present you can't even imagine yet. And here's the thing, future you is going to be really grateful if present you starts putting some money aside now, and really annoyed if present you spends everything and leaves future you to figure it out. Hey, that wasn't confusing at all. So let's talk about building your financial safety net without turning into one of those people who hoards money. First up, the emergency fund. Now, I know what you're thinking because everyone thinks this when they hear emergency fund. You're thinking about those financial experts who say, save 6 months of expenses before you do anything fun, before you touch any of your money, before you even think about eating out again. So instead of 6 months, why don't they just say $6 million? I'd be equally motivated for either one. But here's the truth. Those experts are right about needing an emergency fund. They're just completely wrong about how to build one without losing your mind. We're going to start with what I call the starter emergency fund. This is not 6 months of expenses. This is not even 1 month of expenses. This is just enough money to handle the little emergencies that pop up in regular life without having to put them on a credit card or panic. How much is that? For most people just starting out, it's somewhere between $500 and $1,000. That's enough to cover a car repair, a medical copay, an unexpected utility bill, a plane ticket for a family emergency, or a used phone when yours suddenly collides with the concrete. Is $1,000 going to cover major life catastrophes? No, but it will cover 90% of actual emergencies that happen to real people, and it will keep those smaller emergencies from turning into bigger financial problems. Here's why this matters. Every time you have to put an unexpected expense on the credit card, you're not just paying for that expense, you're paying interest on it for months or years afterwards. A $400 car repair becomes a $600 car repair. Your starter emergency fund breaks that cycle. So how do you build this fund? Remember that future you bucket we talked about? This is where all of that money goes. If you can put away $50 a month, you'll have your starter fund in less than a year. If you can do $100 a month, you'll have it in 6 months. If you can only do $25 a month, it'll take a little longer, but you'll still get there. And here's the beautiful part. Once you have your starter emergency fund, you stop feeling like you're one unexpected expense away from financial disaster. The peace of mind is worth way more than whatever you might have to spend that money on instead. Now, where do you keep this money? Not in your checking account where you might actually spend it on pizza, not in some sophisticated or complicated investment. Just a basic savings account at your bank is fine. Yes, the interest rate is probably not very attractive, but no, that doesn't really matter right now. This money isn't supposed to make you rich, it's supposed to keep you from going broke. Once you've got your starter emergency fund, then you can think about building it up to a fuller amount. A number I like is $2,500, but you don't have to do that right away. You've got other financial priorities too. Well, like what? Well, if you have high interest debt, credit cards, personal loans, anything with an interest rate above 7 or 8%, you should probably focus on paying that off before you build a massive emergency fund. Here's why. If your emergency fund is earning 1% interest and your credit card debt is charging you 20% interest, you're losing money by saving instead of paying off debt. Here's the key. You keep your starter emergency fund while you're paying off debt. Don't drain your emergency fund to pay off credit cards faster, because then you'll just end up putting the next emergency back on the credit card and you're right back where you started. This is called the debt and emergency fund balance. It's one of the most important concepts in personal finance that nobody talks about. You need both at the same time, even if it means everything takes a little bit longer. Now, let's talk about the other future you priorities, like retirement savings. I know you're 20-something and retirement feels like it's a long way away. But here's the thing about retirement savings. It's one of those areas where starting early gives you superpowers. If you put $100 a month towards retirement at age 25, you'll have way more money at 65 than someone who puts $300 a month away starting at age 40. That's the magic of compound interest. Your money makes money, and then that money makes money, and it snowballs from there. But how much should you save for retirement? If your employer offers a 401k match, start there. That's free money, and you should never turn down free money. If they match up to 3% and you contribute 3%, you're essentially getting 100% return on that money immediately. If you don't have employer matching, or if you want to save more, consider opening a Roth IRA. You can contribute up to $6,000 a year, but you don't have to max it out. Even $50 or $100 a month makes a difference over time. Here's the thing about retirement savings that no one tells you about. You don't have to choose between enjoying your life now and saving for retirement. You just have to find a balance that works for your current situation. Maybe right now, $50 a month is all you can do. Maybe in a few years when you're earning more, it's $200 a month. The important thing is starting as soon as you can. But what if money is really tight and you can barely cover your must-haves and lifestyle spending? What if there's nothing left for the future you? First, go back and look at your must-haves bucket again. I bet there's something in there that could be reduced or eliminated. Second, look for ways to increase your income. I definitely believe in side hustles. Your boss might be inclined to give you a little raise or a better position. Or maybe it's time just to look for another job. And third, start with whatever you can, even if it's just a few dollars a month. $10 a month sounds like nothing, but it's not the amount that counts. It's about building the habit. Once you get used to paying future you first, it becomes easier to increase the amount as your income grows. Here's something else to consider: windfalls, tax refunds, birthday money, bonuses, that $20 you found in your jacket pocket. Instead of just absorbing windfalls into your regular spending, put some of them towards future you. Not all of them. Maybe you should enjoy some of that windfall money, but some of them. And here's the most important thing about the future you bucket. This money isn't gone forever. Your emergency fund is there when you need it. Your retirement savings will come back to you eventually. Even money you save for short-term goals like vacations or a new car, that's money you get to spend on things you really want instead of just things you happen to want right now. Think of your future you bucket as hiring a really good financial assistant. You pay them a little bit every month, and in return, they make sure you always have options. They make sure unexpected expenses don't derail your entire financial life. They make sure you can afford to do the things you really want to do. And they make sure you won't have to work forever if you don't want to. So, your assignment this week: open a separate savings account for your emergency fund if you don't already have one. Set up an automatic transfer for whatever amount you can afford, even if it's just $10 or $25 a month. And if your employer offers 401k matching, figure out how to sign up for that too. Future you is counting on present you to make some smart decisions. Don't let them down. Next up, we're talking about how to make all of this stick without becoming obsessed with your budget. Because the best budget in the world is useless if you give up on it after a month. So I'll see you in Module 6.